5 tips to reduce that belly fat that you're struggling with that I'm sure you haven't heard about. And some of those causes of that belly fat include what's going on in your environment. So it's not just about the food that you're eating or the exercise that you're either getting or not getting. This has a lot to do with light and EMFs in your environment. And I'm talking about man-made EMFs, electromagnetic fields, and radiation. And this can really have a destructive effect on your own metabolism. We know that our bodies and our metabolism are controlled by something called our circadian rhythms, and our weight is very much linked to the cycle of the light and dark of the day. Now, when we have a lot of artificial light in our environment, like the lights here that I'm under, which is mostly and very much in the blue light spectrum of that light because they aren't full spectrum light bulbs, and most lights in your homes and certainly on your cell phones, on your devices, is higher in that blue light spectrum, and this definitely offsets our melanopsin. And melanopsin is a receptor that we have for light in our eye and on our skin cells, and this helps to keep us in sync with the proper light cycling times of the day. Now, that melanopsin is reading from our cell phone and the blue light in my toxic environment right here that it is 12 noon. Well, obviously it's not 12 noon at all times of the day, but that's what our body is reading, and this is how our circadian rhythms get messed up, and that's how we can start to gain more weight, because unfortunately that melanopsin is going to have an effect on the aromatic rings in something called retinol. We know retinol for, yes, ladies and guys too, I guess, for your skin, but retinol in the body has a negative impact sometimes on our leptin levels and our melatonin levels as well. So when we talk about leptin resistance and weight gain, which is something I educate a lot of people about, this is really important that we get this all under control based on our light environment. But here are my 5 tips to help to deal with this and to definitely target that belly fat, which is so difficult to usually get rid of. Okay, so tip number 1, look at that early morning sunlight. This is going to give your melanopsin in your eye, in your skin, those proper signaling mechanisms to really start your metabolism, even to have that first bowel movement first thing in the morning, really gets things going in sync with nature. Tip number 2 is get grounded. So this is what I do. I like to go outside with bare feet on the earth first thing in the morning, looking towards the east to get that natural sunlight in my eyes, on my skin, as much as possible while grounded. Tip number 3 is to turn off your devices, especially after the sun has set. When it's dark outside, it should be dark indoors as well. And wearing blue light blocking glasses can be really helpful, especially as the day goes on, to really protect your eyes from too much of that blue light toxicity from your devices, so all of your screens, but also from the artificial lights in your home. And tip number 4 is to use the cold to your advantage. So brief moments of getting cold and allowing your body temperature to drop and actually have a reaction to that cold temperature, like maybe opening your car windows while you're driving. If you live in a colder climate, this is very easy, like it is here in Canada, because we can go outside for short bursts of time without all of that, winter protection and warm clothing. We do that for bursts of time to help with that cold adapting. Cold showers is another way to do this as well, or even cold immersion in water, and doing those cold iced dunks can be really helpful as well to help with your leptin signaling and to help to target your metabolism for that belly fat. And tip number 5 is to eat foods in season. So depending on where you live, it's really important to eat your local foods that are growing in that season. And if you think about it, through a cold winter month in a climate that doesn't have a lot of tropical fruits and things, it doesn't make sense to be eating tropical fruits. Now, yes, we do have easy access to different foods in our grocery stores, but that's not the way that nature intended. And one of the interesting aspects here is, for instance, apples. So apples are in season, usually in a colder climate, usually in the fall, going into early winter time, and you can store them for, a short period of time in that cold environment. But apple peels in particularly contain contains something called ursolilic acid, and this increases irisin. And irisin in the research has been shown to help with body fat percentage. It actually helps to increase that internal thermogenesis, your body's ability to make that heat. And in this one study, it was found by taking higher amounts of the ursolilic acid that that increase in the irisin really did lead to a significant decrease in that body fat percentage. Today I shared all about 5 tips to reduce that belly fat that you haven't heard. I hope that you learned something new. And for more tips on how to reverse leptin resistance, please check out my video, 9 Tips to Reverse Leptin Resistance. I'll see you there.